Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Rafita Pujiastuti with student ID number 44014211027 from the Biology Education Based Study Program, Semarang State University. On this occasion, I will explain the enzyme practicum sub-chapter of ureases. The material to be discussed includes the first introduction, the second background, the third method, the fourth result, the fifth discussion, and the last conclusion. The first introduction, enzymes are the most abundant protein group in living cells. Now approximately more than 2,000 enzymes have been identified, each of which function as a catalyst for chemical reaction in living system. Enzyme synthesis occurs inside cell, and most enzymes can be obtained by extraction from tissues without impairing their function. As catalysts, enzymes are different from simple inorganic and organic catalysts, which generally can catalyze various chemical reactions. Enzymes have very high specificity both for the reactant, substrate, and the types of reaction they catalyze. In general, an enzyme catalyzes only one type of reaction and acts on a particular substrate. Then the enzyme can increase the reaction rate tremendously with the formation of byproduct and the molecular function in aqueous solution under normal physiological pressure, temperature, and pH condition. Only a few non-biological catalysts are equipped with such properties. Many factors affect enzyme activity. Some of the important ones are temperature, pH, enzyme concentration, and substrate concentration. The second background, the urease test, is a character of the can be used to identify the type of yeast. The urease test showed negative result as indicated by absence of a change in the pH of the medium to become more alkaline, which was indicated by the color of the pH stage not changing from green to blue. The third method, A, objective, to prove the presence of urease enzyme in soybean suspension. B, basic theory, the urea substrate by the urease enzyme in the soybean suspension will be broken down into ammonia and carbon dioxide gas. The resulting ammonia compound is basic, so that the pH of the solution increases. As a result, phenolphthalein in the original solution colorless to pink. The activity of the urease enzyme can be inhibited by heavy metal inhibitors such as Hg2 or Pb2 and are damaged at 100 degrees Celsius heating. C. Materials and reagent. 1. Soy suspension. 2. 1% urea solution, phenolphthalein solution, pH 8.3 until 10, 1% HgCl2 solution. The fourth result. The first tube contains 1 ml of urea solution plus 10 drops of soybean suspension plus 2 drops of phenolphthalein, then observe the color change. The second tube contains 1 ml of urea solution plus the 10 drops of hot soybean suspension plus 2 drops of phenolphthalein and then observe the color change. The third tube contains 1 ml of urea solution plus 2 drops of phenolphthalein plus 10 drops of 1% HgCl solution, then they observe the color change. Finally, tube 1 product pink color, tube 2 product goldy color, and tube 3 product clear color. Documentation. The following is the documentation of the urease test. There are 3 tubes that produce a pink color in tube 1, a cloudy color in tube 2, and a clear color in the third tube. Discussion. Tube 1 positive contains a reaction indicated by a change in color to pink, although the pink color is not to break because it is caused by a change in substrate concentration due to the addition of urea solution and phenolphthalein solution, but it has shown the presence of ammonia elements formed as a result of urease enzyme activity. Tube 2 does not contain urease enzyme because the soybean suspension used is a suspension that has been heated or exposed to extensive heat. There is no color change, which indicated the absence of ammonia formed due to the absence of reaction enzyme activity that catalyzes solar hydrolysis. This happened because even though soybean filtrate is used the same as the source of the urease enzyme, and the final treatment in each tube was the same, namely heated at a temperature 37 to 40 degrees Celsius. But the heating treatment to boiling soybean filtrate in tube 2 would damage the urease enzyme in the soybean filtrate. Tube 3 does not contain the urease enzyme either because the addition of an inhibitor, namely HgCl2 solution into the test, a competitive inhibitor for urea, will cause the inability of the urease enzyme to catalyze the hydrolysis of urea and also occurs due to heating, which makes the temperature rise. The active part of the enzyme will disrupt, and thus the effective concentration of the enzyme is reduced and the reaction rate will decrease. The last conclusion, urea enzyme is found in soybean suspension, and this enzyme will be optimally active at normal temperature and without inhibitors. So many explanation for me. Hopefully it can be useful for all, and I apologize if there was an error in the delivery of the material. Thank you for paying attention to this material. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.